Yeah, making a video, I think. Yeah, let's hope so. Off to work I go. Ho, ho. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking. I do that occasionally. Might be some wind, I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about the wind though. I was thinking, Matt posted a video of some lecture thing. Anyway, thou art that guy. Anyway, it's just such crap. Talking about Kant and Wingate and I don't know, Blackhead, all these whatever. This archaic philosophy, I guess I would call it, pre-Darwin kind of notions of reality. I mean, in terms of recognizing what Darwin represents, in terms of acknowledging the our earthly origins and the God is dead kind of thing. The notion that we were baked by some intelligence for some grand purpose. It's just such a wrong way. It's just so plainly wrong as a description or as an understanding of what we are. So I was thinking the word understanding, the idea of thoughts versus feelings, which comes up a lot in Matt's conversation. This effort to combine our emotional mushiness with our intellectual capacity as if these are compatible mechanisms. And I'd say they're not. But anyway, the word that came to mind for me was the word judgment. Because in a sense, feelings are a judgment, and then our thoughts are just a qualification of that judgment. It's just the initial reaction versus the bigger reaction, or just a constant refinement. You just keep looking at it, and as you look at it, your eyes focus and see more stuff to judge associated or connected with the thing you're looking at. So you can have the experience of leaf, and then your brain takes that experience and contextualizes it and re-experiences it. So it re-experiences as autumn, and then mineral desiccation. The trees took back all their minerals, and that's why the leaves have color. They left behind the brown bits. Yeah, the poo. So leaves are tree poo. Anyway, so you just start making it a bigger subject. You see the things connected, and you judge those things. You have a judgmental reaction. Some sort of, generally speaking, a black or white reaction. And in a sense, the accumulation of all of that perspective, you end up with some amount of white and some amount of black, and you come up with a general feeling like, oh, this is a benign thing, this is a good thing, this is a bad thing, that kind of thing. So I have pondered nature, and the process of the evolution of the bug brain, and I'd say my general judgment is decisively negative. When you add up all the little judgments of the individual bits, it's catastrophically negative. So even though I have in there the judgment of love and warmth and comfort and all the nice little bits, I have also torture, horror, fear, pain, and those judgments thoroughly overwhelm the recipe, and I have a foreboding concerning my place in this helliverse, this shitiverse, this crapiverse, this nasty place, nastiverse. But anyway, also all these words sort of have judgment built into them, right there. We have words that are benign and friendly. I've often described it like, people's philosophy is essentially based on these crayon drawings associated with words like life. It's always, people write the word life, and it's always butterflies and some sort of sunshine and rainbows, and they can't even, we don't understand the word accurately, and so it's a built-in bias beaten into our psychologies from our youth, and it's just a misrepresentation of the truth. Even a word like cosmos and universe, they're all words of bias representation, because we're not taught what the real implications of existence, the real implications of your gratified desire is the existence of the ungratified. The real implications of you winning the race is somebody else has to lose the race. That kind of crap. And so we have all these distorted and perverse judgments of these mechanisms. And I guess you can go with the whole circle of life thing. People just keep thinking of this as some sort of wheel that's rolling somewhere, this circle. They don't think of it as, a redundant hammer to the head and the blood gushes, on the clock strikes 12 and, the mayhem is set free. It's just all this metaphorical, simplistic, fairy tale-ish, like religion, all this spiritualism, all this, oh, it's all so deep and profound, my love, when all it really is ego, stick your pole in the hole and, feel like you're king for a few milliseconds. And we turn that into some beautiful, magnificent thing. Yeah, it's powerful as fuck, but it's superficial as fuck also. I wish it wasn't. I wish there was some dignity to our love, but it's pretty undignified. It's pretty much just me horny. Not good. It's just not good enough for all this overblown, exaggerated nonsense about this fairy tale voyage we're all mushing through. So anyway, I just like the word judgment just sort of fits. That these are all just reflexive, mechanical, not slot machine, not pinball machine, but very mechanical reactions, and that we have to concede that a bunch of our reactions are preconditioned, pre-installed, and that they are subtly modified. We're capable of modifying them through perception, through understanding. So we gain context, we see the bigger picture, and so now we're no longer fooled by, cute or, some other superficial element of identity, and we see deeper and feel the blackness, sense the dark side that would be invisible to our perception if we were just bugs. So yeah, we're not bugs, we're not lions. We're able to understand harm, pain, and suffering. We can see it happening and know what's happening when we see it. And so we can have a different appraisal of our actions and activities based on having knowledge of what the real implications are. Again, people see a newborn baby and they just think all the glorious, wondrous, blah, blah, blah. And they don't see the ugly, smelly diarrhea of it all, the broken heart, the leukemia, the blindness, the decapitations. They just see the wonder, and they certainly don't see the inevitable end, which will be some sort of choking suffocation. Yeah, so it's a broken context, it's a broken judgment, because it's not complete, it's not accurate to the circumstance, it doesn't show it for what it is, so it's not a good judgment, it's flawed and superficial, yeah, and that's sort of how people are playing their game of life. They're certainly playing it as their game. They're certainly not recognizing the connectedness of their own inhalation of oxygen, their own consumption and what it represents in terms of somebody else's denial. We're not seeing or even feeling the pain of the Chinaman who had to pour the plastic into the molds, do our duty for us, put in the hard labor and the abundant risk to provide your comfort. Yeah, so it's just a horribly incomplete perspective. So, as my brain works and as I talk, these words just pop in and thoughts pop in. So I just thought of, the Modern Mystic had made a post on his economics vlog, and it was sort of one of those big picture ones where, the economy is just defined by consumption. I do something, you buy that from me, you do something, I buy that from you, and that's all that's needed. It's just anything to trade. And I think that's a huge flaw, to think that anything is an economy, because it's not. Certainly, we're taking, consuming a bunch of stuff that is manufactured for us. So we have all our necessities made someplace else and imported for us, so we can trade trivialities. But there is a real truth to productive versus unproductive work. Damn animals everywhere. Anyway, somebody providing you electricity is doing productive work. Somebody trying to sell you a Mercedes, maybe not so much. And there's a huge part of our economy where we're trading something called value, but the value is so tangential and almost irrelevant to anything productive. So, it's not like some past era where you had to trade real things. You trade a bag of flour for, somebody to shoe your horses or something. It was real value for real value. Not, yes, you try to sell me a Coke and I'll try to sell you a Pepsi. And we'll just waste a bunch of time and energy trying to sell the product and end up making the product cost twice as much. And that's what we've basically done. We've created an economy where we're all paying for this nothing work that we're all employed to do. Nothing to do with infrastructure and the real value, shelter and heat and those things. And then we've done it in such a way where we have these owners who have coupons, possession of so much of it. And here we are just bargaining over the 10% that'll trickle down to us. which makes it even more inefficient. So it's just a huge lack of productivity in how we exist. We labor 90% of our labor. If you're a good laborer doing good work, let's say you do work on gas line infrastructure, and you're doing good productive work, 90% of that labor is squandered paying the salaries of people doing garbage, nonsense, waste work. It's just a fact. So all the value is being sucked out of our labor. So theoretically, you could work one day a week and be just as productive as you are in this broken economy. If you had an economy that actually where other people had productive jobs, you would have to work 1/10 as much. And so again, it's another perception. People perceive this to be necessary. Yes, you must work 10 hours a day, 60 days a week. You're not being a productive citizen. You're not doing your part. And it's just silly, because most of these jobs have nothing to do with real value. They just have to do with exploitation and trickery and chicanery, cleaning up the mess the liars and the criminals make. So anyway, well, that's a long way around to that subject. But anyway, it's okay. I think it's enough for a video. So anyway, the obvious judgment is Matt's a kook, silly kook. Yeah, and the modern mystic's almost right, but it doesn't quite get this idea of the difference between productive work and unproductive work. There is a difference, and it's a huge difference to our overall economy, because the productive workers are really paying all the bills. Anyway, enough. I have to I have to do leaves. So anyway, till next time, and such, so forth and whatnot.